Hey everybody, it's Aluna Michaels, Esoteric Astrologer. How are you doing this month? This is the forecast for January 2014. Okay, so first thing I want to start with is we had a new moon yesterday. So the new moon is when the sun and moon are together, they're together in Capricorn. And the new moon was also conjuncting, which means the same as Mercury and Pluto, which we'll discuss, and then also squared Mars. So what's interesting about that, sorry, just adjust the light here for a minute. Okay, so new moon is definitely a time for fresh beginnings, and what a perfect thing for New Year's Day, you know, to release everything that's gone before, to be ready for something fresh. Of course, that happens every month, but maybe a deeper resonance because of the new year and because of the Mercury-Pluto, the combination there. It's like, and even though the new moon has happened, you can still use this energy of your commitment and passion really going into the new goals. And because Capricorn is about goal setting, to be able to have real meaning behind those changes. And not even talking about New Year's resolutions, but if a resolution could be to shift in consciousness, to master a lower level of consciousness that's holding you back and limiting you, to really break those limitations of thought, which is Mercury. And Pluto is kind of self-sabotage, or it can be ways you hold yourself back, because Pluto's so much about power. You know, I'm forgetting now that quote by Marianne Williamson about we're not afraid of our, failures, we're afraid of our successes, you know that one that was misattributed to Mandela and everything. But, that's kind of that feeling of Pluto, is it's like you could have all this, you have all your dreams, you can have all the power, the internal power, you can have all the success, and it's like, so there's a part of Pluto that can be self-sabotage. So when we've got all those planets lined up, it's looking at the ways you do sabotage yourself, the ways you're afraid to expand and grow bigger and more powerful. So we want to definitely look at those things. And then the square to Mars is even more about the sabotage and the ways you can get disappointed in yourself, because Capricorn itself is about too much self-criticism. So we want to watch out for all that. So there's maybe a paradox here of being passionate and driven and connected with what you want to be achieving, but still compassionate with yourself, that you're also slogging through your subconscious and your past life karma that can be tripping you up. And when you are tripped up, people say, aha, this was a piece I didn't know was in here, let me examine it, and then move it out of the way and keep going, because that piece could have tripped you up in a worse way if you're up here with it. If you're here and it comes up, okay, fine, get rid of it now. Thank you for showing me how I tripped myself up, So the Capricorn, instead of like, oh, I'll never achieve my goals or forget all this, it's like, nope, we want the higher part of Capricorn that says, thank you, fix the problem, keep going, So that purification process, yay. Okay, then we've got those planets, well, the Mercury, let's talk about Mercury for a second, moving into Aquarius and creating a sextile with the planet Uranus. So Mercury, Aquarius is linked with Uranus, so to have Mercury, you're thinking, in the sign of Aquarius, connecting with Uranus, its own sign, is really great. And that happens on the 17th. So the Mercury-Uranus sextile, which is a 60-degree angle, is like a revelation or an easy understanding of something. So stuff you've been working on with the goal setting and seeing how you never have achieved that goal before, what's in the way, that Mercury-Uranus can be that aha moment of how it is not achieved and how you can get rid of the obstacles in a pretty easy way. And really rise above the consciousness, because there's something about Aquarius and Uranus that's about just being above that level of thinking, where it's like, I wouldn't even do that anymore. You're just lifted beyond the problem. So, yay, that's waiting for you if you can get through some of the, frustrations maybe that come up with the first 2 weeks of the month. And again, it's more about the self-discovery, hopefully, than frustrations. Then, of course, the sun goes into Aquarius, and And then the sun will sextile Uranus on the 29th. Did I write down? So Mercury sextiles Uranus first, then the sun does. So that's another little yay, because again, it's Aquarius and it's connecting with its own planet, and it's really being able, the sun sextile is more about maybe rooting it in you. The Mercury part is a little bit like, oh, it's in the head. And then the sun is like in your heart and in your core, like I am this, I can do this, I am new, I can go forward with a different set of, like an operating system, like a computer gets a new operating system. And it just does different things, and it doesn't do certain things, and it doesn't get a virus, or it doesn't, it's not slow, it's fast here, and it's easier to work with, less problematic. So it's being able to have that new operating system working for you. And again, seeing what the problems were so you can correct the problems, and then you enjoy the fruits of having less problems in your consciousness. Hurrah! Okay, then want to talk about Venus. Venus went retrograde in Capricorn in December, and I'm forgetting the day, but let me just tell you. It was the 21st, the 20th, let's say the 20th of December, went retrograde. It goes direct on January 30th, 31st. It will still be catching up with itself for a little while. And actually, let me just tell you that, for those of you who know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, that's right. It does that in the very beginning of March, which we'll talk about in March, because that's going to be fun when Jupiter goes direct then too. But so the work you're doing with the Venus retrograde right now through the month of January is looking at issues of commitment to yourself. How valuable are you to yourself? How worth it is it to make the changes and stick with the changes, stick with the new action plan, stick with the meditation, stick with the whatever changes you're making, because Capricorn, again, is about that commitment. And when Venus does go direct, it's right next to Pluto, which is, again, that sense of your highest possible power. And Venus can be about money, making more money, feeling your self-worth so that you magnetize more money, kind of like a law of attraction thing. Same with the highest quality relationships coming to you. Why are you not having the highest quality relationships? Why in your current relationship are there problems? How can you be your best self? But even most importantly, Venus is about how we respect and love ourselves. And so that Pluto is that recommitment. I just had a great friend come over yesterday, and she said she bought herself, she said it's so corny people get engaged on Christmas Eve, but she had, she's working on healing her quality of her relationships in her life, and she's single, but really examining who she chooses as partners. So she got herself a ring for a Christmas present that she's wearing as to remind herself of like a recommitment to her own soul. And that's kind of what that Venus going direct conjuncting Pluto is about. And Venus itself at its deepest level is about that commitment to the growth of the soul, which then attracts the money, attracts the healthy circumstances, the harmonious circumstances of Venus, attracts the love and relationships, I know it's corny about, love yourself, blah, blah, but it's true with the Venus on the spiritual plane, and the more committed you are to your own standards and evolution and moving forward and, leaving behind the lower alternatives and the lower thought forms and all that, it's like, wow, things can really happen, So it's a wonderful month of clearing out, committing, and getting those, I don't want to say rewards, but really reaping the results of hard work. So if you would like a personal reading, you can always contact me at my website, alunamichaels.com, or email me through there, or send me a thing through YouTube. Also have my little astrology book, the 12 astrological gifts, the 12 spiritual gifts of the the spiritual gifts of the 12 astrological signs. That's what it's called. And be well and enjoy your spiritual journey until I see you again.